What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Donna D. Walker, also known as Dee Dee Walker Live. And I'm so excited because you are listening to the Donna D. Walker podcast. And of course, as you can see, I've got this handsome gentleman here. He is a writer, an author, film producer, best known for the amazing book, A Polished Soul, that turned into a movie. He's coming on here to talk about that and so much more. Welcome.
Thank you for having me so much, Donna. Appreciate you.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited. Listen, I've been talking about you on my podcast and when I do my vlogs and stuff, and I've been telling folks, remember when you came on Coffee Time and we were
Yeah,
sitting in the garage freezing?
yeah. Humble beginnings, humble
Humble
beginnings.
beginnings, humble beginnings. Yes, yes.
Yes.
So I know that you don't have much time because you're out there doing some amazing stuff. And by the way, I'm so like every time you post something, I'm so excited about what you're doing. Amazing.
Thank
So
you so much.
so I did mention to you, well, I did mention to the audience and stuff like that that you write. So,
Yes.
and we talked about the polished soul. So what got you into writing in the first place?
Well, of course, A Polished Soul, the book as well as the movie, is my life story. And my life story entails me being incarcerated for 17 and a half years on a life sentence.
Mm,
And that stemmed from the fact that in 1991, after doing a lot of crazy stuff in the streets, one thing led to another. I ended up in the Cumberland County Jail in Fayetteville, North Carolina, facing the death penalty plus life plus 60 years. As I sat and awaited trial in the Cumberland County Jail, I had to figure out a way to keep my sanity. And I had to figure out a way to pretty much keep me focused on positive things. So I began writing poetry. Every day I would write a poem, something that can make me think in the most profound way that I knew how. Coming from out of the streets and coming into a situation where I had no idea which direction my life was going. Of course, I was told it was going up the river, no pun intended. But one of the things that I remembered was the more positive things that I wrote, the better I felt every day. The better I realized that I can definitely hold on to my sanity. So after taking a plea bargain for life, because they told me that if I did not take the plea bargain for life, that they would do their best to make sure that I got executed and got the death
mm,
penalty. So I took the plea bargain for life, and when I went in, I kept writing, and I noticed that writing was something that would make me relax, whether it was a rap, a poem, or even a reflection
mm,
or a jotting down moments of introspection and reflecting off what it meant to me, what that thought meant to me, and reading it aloud to myself. Because when I first got to prison, they put me in isolation
mm.
because one of the guys that was involved with my shooting, one of the victims, so to speak, was actually incarcerated as well. So as I was in isolation, which was a hot cell with no sheets or nothing on a thin mattress with roaches and ants in a corner, I realized that this place was also going to be, occupied by other people in the future and probably have in the past. So, what was it that I can leave behind to be inspirational? And I wrote like a poem each day on a brick. Each brick was my writing slate for a poem. And so I would write that poem and make sure that it was positive. So if anybody came in there before they cleaned the walls off, um, it was evident that they didn't really clean the walls because there was so many different other situations that show that they didn't really clean the walls. But somebody could come in and read a positive affirmation or a positive poem
Mm.
when they came into that situation, and it would inspire them to endure that struggle in the best way that they knew how, with their sanity and with the most positive mind frame. And so as time went on, while I was on the inside, I started elevating and evolving into a better writer because I applied for a business to get my business degree. So I was in college courses on the inside. And I had a writing teacher. I'll never forget him. His name was Mr. Stalls, and he taught us how to do expository writing and creative writing. And he said, well, I want you to expound on some of those things that you've been jotting down in the journals that we had you keep, and began writing essays. And then after that, I took it to another level, started writing scripts. I wrote a few plays on the inside that the administration allowed us to perform. So I
Mm.
would pull together a team of inmates. We would perform the play, and I mean, got a standing ovation from the other inmates. Now, look, on the inside, prison inmates are the hardest crowd to please.
I couldn't hear.
You don't understand what they gonna give it to you raw. I mean, even if there was any way Sandman was in there and you performing it and it ain't right, he gonna come get you. I promise you.
Mhm.
That's how honest prisoners are, in that moment, because we have nothing else to lose but to be honest. But always got a standing ovation, so it let me know that writing was a plus for me. So I stayed writing the whole 17 and a half years I was incarcerated. And when I came home, I decided to put some of that writing to the test. And as time went on, after publishing a few books that were poetry books and stuff, I decided to write my life story, to make it a book that somebody could read, to expose myself to the umpteenth degree if I was able to teach a lesson or save a life or wake a dead mind up or resurrect a mind, because I felt like writing was what resurrected me when I felt dead doing that life sentence. That's what caused me to start writing.
Mm. Oh man, that's a very that's a deep story. It really is. It really is. And it's a beautiful thing that you actually put it in a book so other folks can read it too. And I think that's amazing. So that very same book that you wrote, A Polished Soul, you then
Yes,
turned it into a movie,
I
which
did.
I had the pleasure going to the premiere of the
Yes.
movie. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
And you also had the pleasure of being in it
Yes, yes, I was. I was in the audience.
as a spectator during the court scene.
Yes, the
You
court
and
scene. That's right. Court
yes,
scene.
exactly. So I took and adapted it into a full-length feature film, a narrative film that would give the younger generation the visual. I realized that, hey, if I wanted to reach another crowd, the crowd that I felt like was the at-risk youth, those getting in trouble, I should do the visual, because sometimes our institutions and our school systems don't enforce reading and get these kids up to par with their reading skills.
That is so true.
And
That is so true.
yeah, and literacy is not one of the biggest plus things in the school system. So
Hmm.
I said, let's do the visual, because I realized, guess what? We're living in the times where the younger generation is what I call the YT generation, Generation YT, which is YouTube generation. They're
Oh yeah.
visual.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're visual. And so I said, let me make the movie and create an impactful message with the movie itself. So I wrote the script, shopped it around for a while, couldn't get nobody to really pick it up because people wanted me to adapt the script to a certain agenda, so to speak.
Hmm.
And I wasn't for that, because I couldn't tell my story with falsehoods to promote an agenda to become popular and to become rich. So I kept it raw, and I
Hmm.
kept it, the script was according to the script of my life.
Mm.
So went
Of
in,
course, you wanted to be told and reflect on what
exactly.
happened to you, which I
Yeah.
understand. I truly understand.
There was no room for embellishment to become the Hollywood guy, so to speak. I said, whatever the case may be, I can stay humble and still be a North Carolina guy, but tell the story and let the whole world see it.
NC up in the house.
Yeah, NC, North Carolina, Vietnam, Fayetteville, 2-6. Eh. So yeah, I then produced it, turned it into a movie. Got some great people from Hollywood. Hollywood is up in there, of course.
Yes,
Shout
yes,
out to Oba Babatunde,
yes. I
Hawthorne
love
James,
him. I love, yes,
and Shaw Jackson. Shaw Jackson, she's in it. And then of course
I love her. Hmm.
Bird from Judge Judy plays my father. Of course you
Wow.
yeah, and that's a great friend. All of those are great friends of mine, and they was willing to cut little old me a break in certain ways to make sure that this movie got made. And, it was they brought a beautiful performance as well as all my North Carolina actors and actresses. Every
Yes.
last one of you all contributed to this film and made it what it was. And I was able
Yes.
to make it, I was able to shoot it, direct it, edit it, write it, uh,
Wow, you did
sound
the
it.
whole thing.
Yeah, man. I was makeshift Manny for a whole film. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was a lot of work, but it was worth it.
Mhm. Which I noticed by you writing that book, I saw, prior to that, when you wrote the book, I noticed a lot of people in Hollywood basically gravitated towards you. And I started seeing you with some pics and stuff like that, which is a beautiful
Yeah.
thing, which I noticed you then got into acting yourself. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, it was something. When I wrote the plays on the inside, I wasn't just writing them; I was acting in them. So I realized I really loved acting. I think the first time that I ever acted and realized that I loved acting was when I was in kindergarten and I played Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in a Christmas play.
Yes,
And I actually,
Rudolph.
yeah, I had lines. I had lines.
He said I had
And
lines.
yeah, I had some lines. I had
He was
speaking role. I
SAG
had a
up in the
speaking
day.
role. You know what I'm saying? And so it was just like one of those things, man, that I I realized I was playing a character that I could relate to. Because what people don't realize is Rudolph was a misfit, but he served the greatest purpose on
Mhm,
one of the stormiest nights for Saint Nick
mhm.
to be able to deliver those gifts.
Yeah, without
And
his red nose, we wouldn't be
exactly.
getting our gifts. I'll be very upset. Shoot, I know
Yeah,
my
man, I
kids
know,
would.
right? I know. Yeah. Even though I got GI Joe with no arms, um no, but seriously, I thought about that and I said, well, how can I take my misfit life and serve a purpose?
Mhm.
And so I started acting and caught the bug again when I got out of prison. And one of the first projects I ended up on was Vice Principals as an extra on HBO.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, for a few episodes. And then
Mhm,
after that, one thing led to another. I started getting some TV One roles uh,
mhm,
on like drama reinterpretations of like the crime shows and stuff, the
mhm,
prime time crime shows that was coming on,
mhm.
and then started getting into some more projects. One thing led to another, and here I am years later with one of my first major lead roles in a movie that came out last year entitled Shark Water.
Fanning, I cannot lose you either. No! Come on, Danny. Come on, you know we have to keep moving, okay? You know it. Hey, Fanning, you know we have to get off this boat, okay? We have to go.
Yes, I saw it. It was good. It was good. You
Appreciate you,
did an
appreciate you.
awesome job in that. I had my
Thank you.
popcorn and everything. I was like, woo!
Yeah, and so I
I'll
mean,
never
the
get in the water
audition.
again.
Hey, you know what's so crazy? We was on the water for like 10 days in a boat filming that
I
in
was gonna
Tampa.
ask you that.
Yeah,
Wow.
down in Tampa, Florida. And
Mm.
the crazy thing about it is,
Are you like a boat person in general? Have
oh
you
yeah, I'm a boat,
Oh,
jet ski, paraglide, all
okay,
that.
so that it
I
came
love it.
natural for you. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it
I
was
was
it was a
wondering about
beautiful.
that.
Man, I didn't even want to stop filming the movie. I was like, man, can we make part two out here right now? You know what
Mm.
I'm saying?
Is there
And
part
it
2
was,
coming?
I don't
Mm.
know.
Mm. Mm.
Anyway, no, but seriously, and that's what acting. I found out I was good at it when I told this story the other day, actually last night to a bunch of kids. I was talking about when I was in prison. I never wanted to wake up mad and angry. I always wanted to wake up joyful. And the only way that I can do that and let everybody else experience it with me, I would wake up and I would make sure that the vibe was right. And I would just start imitating one of the correctional officers and everybody would start laughing if they figured out who it was, and they'd be like, "Yo, that's Officer such and such, Mike, you crazy," you know. And so I realized, yo, I can do this acting thing, man. And some of the things that I've been involved with have allowed me to use my life experiences to use them as my tools and use them as what we call, substitution
Mhm.
as an actor. Substitution is one of the things that you use if you didn't experience exactly what it was that this character experienced, but you can go in and find something that's remotely close to it and
Mhm.
pull it out and portray the emotion that you're supposed to during that one particular read in that scene.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So you wrote a book, you've been acting. Is there anything else in the cards for you?
Yeah, I'm actually getting ready to go back in the theater with my one man play version of A Polished Soul.
Oh, wow.
And so once I'm finished up with that, I'm gonna mount the actual play and then I'm gonna tour with it, and it's gonna be in some, nice areas. And there's some great partnerships on the horizon with some very well known people that, I just want to tell everybody, be ready for that and look for that, because that's going to open up a lot of doors in North Carolina. And we're bringing something to the table that's a little bit different than what North
Mhm.
Carolina is used to. And it's gonna create a platform and an opportunity, man, for those that I've been watching from afar or up close and personal, that I feel also deserve a certain placement in what we call the film industry, so to speak.
Mm, amazing, amazing. I'm looking forward to that. Sounds exciting. So, throughout this whole interview, you basically, I feel like the advice was pouring out of you, but I like to ask the question anything anyway. Like, what any additional advice can you give somebody that could have possibly been in your situation and they've come out of, prison or what have their situation is, and what advice can you give them?
The advice that I would give anybody coming out of that situation is actually never second guess yourself or your significant purpose. Never second guess yourself or your significant purpose.
Ooh, I
And
like that.
yeah, that being said, because your significant purpose was given to you by the creator or whatever you will, for the simple fact that you are designed to serve a significant purpose. And if
Mm.
you second guess it, then you will fail at serving that significant purpose. But your
Oh,
significant
wow.
purpose will take you on your
Wow.
journey and allow you to achieve the success that's necessary and that comes with the reward of your
Mhm.
significant purpose.
Wow, that's powerful. I like that. I really do. I really do. So, can you tell folks, because I know you got to go, can you tell folks how they can reach out to you, get in touch with you, your social media and all that jazz?
I have one social media that I really deal with right now, and that's Instagram. You can follow me at Movie Man Mike, MovieManMike, Movie Man Mike. And go to
Oh,
Tubi, man, and check out A Polished Soul. You can watch it for free 99 on Tubi.
yes, free 99. Yo, I'm up in there.
Yes, yes, definitely. You and
Yes,
moms.
and my son.
Oh
My
yeah, that's right.
my
Exactly,
son is in
exactly.
there too. So yeah,
Yeah,
he just got married and we were showing his wife and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm
yeah, he's
married
a
a movie
star.
star." Oh my gosh. I want to thank you so much for coming on the
Thank you.
show. You
Thank you for
are
having
a
me.
beautiful soul inside and out. I watch you, I follow you, and I see your movements. I see your movements. And there's this one thing you say, what is it, God's out of the box?
God out the box is awesome.
I'm gonna leave it off on that. Listen, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the Donna D. Walker podcast. You can check it out on Facebook. You can check it out on YouTube. And please check it out. Please share it. And one more thing before I go, and I gotta say this to you and to all the people that have been watching. I love you, man.
I love you too.
Peace.